Happy Labor Day.
We do all the labor to have one day off.
Yeah. I don't love it. I feel like we could do more, more with that. But
we were talking about, because, James is so, like, cerebral, and he's like, yeah, it was invented in, like, the 30s and 40s when, like, labor unions were huge, and they really just got that one day,
That's it. And I guess, like, fair working conditions, something, but still.
And all the other things they did.
All those other great things, but still.
For us, in 2024, we just get a 3-day weekend.
There's more to be done. Well, it's this year, too, Labor Day, I guess is, like, either, I don't know if it's early or late. Wherever it is, like, different for the start of the school year than, like...
It's early.
Oh, is it
right?
early this year? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
I feel like it's usually, like, the 6th,
Yeah, it's very interesting, because I'm getting, like, Facebook memories and, like, Snapchat memories of, like, hey, this day, years ago, this is what you were doing. And it's, like, me teaching a band camp, and I'm like, no! I already did that this year. It's over. Oh.
You're like, my past is my present.
I'm a survivor, yeah.
But were you watching Predator?
Oh, no.
Were you?
Definitely not.
So, things are different. And clearly enhanced.
Yeah, wow. Sure.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hello there.
You son of a bitch. I'm so sorry. You're not bitches, listeners. Hello, welcome back.
Oh my god. Are they welcome? Huh?
Well, I don't know if you want to be welcome to this movie this week. But you know what? I'm going to introduce ourselves. And I wish I could introduce us like how the end credits were with all the characters having like an 80s sitcom, like they freeze frame and it's like their name pops up.
So
but we
cool.
can't do that. So just like imagine it in your brain, guys. All right. So we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And get to the chopper! A lot of good quotes in this movie.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
So macho man, LOL.
Oh, there's a lot of macho mans.
This is a lot.
I gotta say, though, I don't know if this is embarrassing to admit, but I was like, Arnold's kind of hot.
Nah, he's hot.
Like, when he came on screen, I was like, oh.
And you know what this movie does, listeners? Even though it's definitely made for men, it does cater to the women because all the men do show, their
muscles.
Pectorals and their muscles, and they're all very sweaty. I assume because we're in the jungle, but also maybe for me.
For you.
Or us. Mm.
Yeah, because, nice jacked arms are sexy.
Yep.
Okay.
But Bridge, what is the movie this week?
The movie this week was a 1987 original Predator.
Yeah, now there's like billions of Predator movies. Some of them are good.
So many questions. Oh. Also, not scary. I was not scared.
Okay, good. I didn't think you would be. It's like a little gore, but nothing like...
No, I was not scared. I was like, wait, I'm here. We're in a jungle. We're fighting someone. I'm down. I'm not surprised by what's happening. It's more of a war movie.
The first description of the movie is jungle adventure. Which I feel like only Jumanji should have, but sure, we'll do that for this one too. I guess it kind of is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it my summary
I think
or yours?
Last time I messed up, and I think I made you do two, so I'll do this one.
I'll kick you off. You ready?
As penance. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Major Dutch Schaefer, Arnold, is the leader of a seasoned military rescue unit looking for allies captured by guerrillas in the Latin American jungle. One by one, the men are killed by a merciless, invisible, seemingly unstoppable extraterrestrial enemy.
Dang.
Okay, say that very fast.
No.
Merciless, invisible, seemingly unstoppable, extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial is such a hard word. Extraterrestrial.
Why didn't they just say... Did they have, like, a legal thing they couldn't say alien? Because
I don't know, because underneath it, it's like action, survival, alien, showdown.
Oh. I mean, that also is a good description.
Yo, the 80s, though, were
It's
like,
so
hey,
80s.
let's be a macho
Macho man in the jungle.
I got to be a
with
macho
guns and
man.
knives. Yeah. Well, Bridge, we have a cast of characters, and do I know any of their names? No. I know the one guy, Mac, because I feel like they said his name a lot, and he wasn't paying attention. There's a guy named Billy, but our main guy is Arnold, which, let's get, who is Arnold? Arnold is named Dutch. Okay. And,
I was like,
that's Dutch. He is... okay, so mercenary, is that the word? CIA? Army? Marine? He's a guy with guns.
Yeah, sure.
He's something, and he's basically... he has his own crew of maybe like 5 or 6 dudes. They get recruited to go work with some other dudes who I assumed were the army, and they're kind of told, like, hey, we have some of our men who were captured and they're being held hostage and we gotta go rescue them, but we need your help. And it's like, okay. And they're somewhere in Central America. I don't know if they say the country.
They don't say it. It's just Latin America.
They do keep referencing how they have to, like, go over the border. And I was like, all right, relax with that. Chill. Okay? It's just like another country. Like, just chill. But yeah, so they go and they do their job. They find some like creepy stuff. You start to get little scatters of like, hey, something's kind of weird. There's like 3 skinned dead bodies hanging in the highest point of a tree. That's crazy. Anywho, wait, moving on.
I have to admit this now because I did watch this at night a lot and I kept falling asleep and I had to keep... Like, I actually had to re-rent it because I kept missing it.
My God.
But when they kept saying, like, gorillas, I was thinking, like, the animal. And
like,
I was...
Like, you thought this was, like, the 80s Congo?
Well, I was like, I know there's an alien in this. But then I was like, are there also, like, evil gorillas that are ripping skin off of people?
That's
and I was like, that's
Congo.
Well, I was like, that's way too clean of a skin ripoff to be a gorilla. And then I was like, okay, I'm there. It's military gorillas. Okay,
different
gorillas. I'm there. But think about, no one uses that term anymore.
No, they really, you're right. You're right. Well, they end up, like, coming across, I guess, who they think were the bad guys who kidnapped hostages. We're gonna have to fucking talk about that, because I had feelings and opinions. And then they're like, okay, we're all done, I guess. Let's leave. Let's go somewhere. And then they literally all start getting killed off, one by one, and they can't see what's killing them. Unfortunately, we can see it, because it's terrible 80s CGI. It's just, it's so painful. But, they tried, I suppose. And the movie turns into, like, we're not rescuing. Now part of the movie is we're gonna try to hunt this thing or man, we don't know. And then they all continue to get killed. And then the third act is Arnold is, like, in a Survivor movie by himself. No Jeff Probst. Okay? No Applebee's on the island.
Mm-mm.
We got mud and booby traps and explosions galore. And then...
okay.
And Arnold defeats the alien. Well, the alien kind of, like, sacrifices himself, like, actually.
Talk about that.
We could talk about it, yeah, because I understand why, but I was like, Arnold, just, like, kill him, but...
I was so confused.
It was weird, but Arnold makes it out alive, and then he gets to the chopper, and then we all just kind of leave, and no one talks about the alien, and it's like, the end. And I don't know if any of the hostages that we went to find are alive. I don't know how many there were. We don't really know. We don't know. So,
It was just throw them in a jungle, and now there's just blood and guns and macho one-liners.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So many questions on this alien thing.
Okay.
Because when you think of Predator, you know the look of it. Like, if you're a certain age, you're like, even if you haven't seen the movie, you're like, I know what Predator is. And I was like, so this motherfucker's invisible for most of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, didn't see that one coming. And then, the other thing is, when he is shown, he, like, never actually is weak enough to die. And then he's ready to die, and Arnold's, like, ready to take him out, and then he, like, giggles and, like, magically flies away in the air. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
No, the alien dies. He, like, explodes himself.
But I didn't know if he was like, here's my secret teleporting power, and I'm gonna teleport out of there, and I'm just gonna giggle, and that's why I'm laughing, because you will never, ever beat me. I'm so much more advanced.
No, I think he blows up.
Okay.
The maniacal alien laughing at the end, I did not remember, and it threw me for a loop. I'll tell you what.
I was like, excuse me?
Yeah, because, alright, so the lore of the aliens, Bridge, we do get a little introduction in the beginning of the movie. We see a spaceship that, it's reminded me actually of The Thing, because I feel like The Thing starts off this way, where you just see a spaceship, you don't know what's in it, and it crash lands on Earth, and you're like, that's probably concerning, but anyway, here we go. And the whole thing about these aliens is that they come to Earth, and I think they go to other planets too in the lore, but they come to Earth and they, like, are hunters. It's like trophy hunting. So that's why, like, they only kill people with, like, weapons, because then that's, like, a higher, it's like they're killing a predator, and so, like, they're above the predator. Whereas if they killed, like, someone who didn't have a weapon, then it's kind of like, that's not as cool.
Yeah, they're like gamers.
Yeah, and I think, at the end, it was one of those things where it was kind of like, oh, I lost to you as the predator, so I can't, like, live, so I'm gonna kill myself and die, because I'm like, now I'm shamed, and, like, the end. And then it laughs. Maniacally.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of Predator movies, too. There's one where it versus the aliens from, like, Sigourney Weaver aliens. And that's a time. That's, like, a crazy movie.
This is why I confused them. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, though, I'm like, guys, this Predator's gonna kill you. Like, he really was just winning, you know?
Yeah. And the lady knew what was up, and everybody ignored her. And I was like, you know what? Some of you people deserve this.
But she survived.
Yeah, she didn't have any weapons.
Such
That's
a
what Arnold
rarity.
kept saying. He's like, don't touch the guns.
Okay. I think we do have to do a little bit of going through the cast.
Okay.
Just the teeniest bit. And I have the cast up to help you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay? Because it's just a ragtag crew. Okay?
Yeah.
And first we have, obviously, Arnold, who's, like, their Capitan. Now, they were pretty great. They always listened to him. I like that. And so we have a young Arnold who's hot and threw me for a loop, but here we are. And then let's talk about Billy. Okay? Billy is played by Sonny Landham, and he was the super intense one that, like, looked out into the forest and he was like, there's something in the trees.
So,
Dutch.
was he supposed to be, and is the actor, do we know, like, a Native American? Is that the politically correct term, now that I say that?
Let's find out. He's played several Native American characters, but is he?
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Because he definitely was, like, coded like that. Like, they're like, he's into nature. He has some senses. He's about nature. And I was like, okay, we get it. It's fine.
I don't see that he's actually Native American.
All right, excellent.
But he plays all the roles.
Okay, that sounds correct, yeah.
Oh, nope, I lied. He's 1/8 Seminole descent? Yeah,
okay.
So he's 1/8 Native American.
Okay, so it's 1/8 not offensive, Is that
Totally.
the math? All right.
But I mean, I understand why you thought that, but in my brain, I thought of him as more like the quiet, scary one. Like, he'll like really mess people up because he's like the one in the corner and you don't know what's happening and he chucks a knife at you.
He was the only one who was like actually climbing trees too. I was like,
Yeah.
we need to use the trees more, guys.
He was super intense, and he also every now and then laughed at we're gonna go to the I believe Hawkins, who makes terrible jokes about his wife's vagina.
Oh wait, that guy. Okay. Oh my god, hold on.
I believe it's Hawkins.
Let me adjust. Okay.
And I was like, why are we making jokes about her?
He felt like the guy that like was not part of the group and was like, I have to make sexist jokes to be included, but then nobody included him anyway, and he was the first person to die. And I was like, well, you laid your bed, and now you sleep in it.
So that was, and he had that, like, I feel like in the 80s, early 90s, there was always that one soldier that had, like, giant bottle, like, Coke bottle glasses.
Yeah.
And they're always, like, the really weird, funky one. And you're like, okay, all right. So he was intriguing, but weird. And then we had Mac, who is played by Bill Duke and is in a ton of other movies when you look him up. And I do feel like I wanted him, although I did look it up and it's not him. Who did you think he was?
Who did I think he was?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like actor?
I thought he also was, and I hope this is not racist, Bubba Gump.
Oh!
Because he had such good acting, like intense acting, and I was like, maybe I'm thinking about The Jungle with Forrest Gump, and I don't know, I'm like so fixated on this guy.
They were both army guys, so I could see you thinking that.
But he was not. I feel like that's an awful racist thing.
He was in Commando, which we did do an episode on, because we just seem to like our Arnold movies.
Oh,
we've done
my God.
so many Arnold movies. It's like really funny.
But I will say, watching the movie now 4 times, because I kept falling asleep, Mac was kind of the star.
Yeah.
Mac was like the star of it.
Okay.
He was like, his acting chops were quite impressive.
Okay, and what was the name of the guy who, again, I don't think he was Australian, but he just had this hat. You know what I mean? When like the hat.
You mean Poncho? That guy?
What?
Wait, but that was the other...
No, he had like a Crocodile Dundee hat, and then
that was Jesse
mustache.
Ventura. So he's like
Okay.
Jesse Ventura is like literally, if you look up machismo, I feel like he's like in the dictionary because wasn't like a
he
former
the one
wrestler.
who said I ain't got time to bleed? That was his character.
Yes.
Okay. Him and Mac. They had like 1 or 2 scenes where it was like, hey, let's share a drink. Hey, you got shot anyway. And then, spoiler alert, but we'll say it now, the character dies. His name is Blaine, which is stupid. Blaine dies, and then Mac is like distraught. And then for like 5 to 10 minutes of the movie, it becomes like sad Mac hour, and Mac's just like, where? And then like somebody plays Taps, like the Army death song. And meanwhile, the other guy had already died, and we didn't give a shit about that guy.
We didn't care about him.
Nobody played
because
Taps
of his
for
terrible
him.
jokes. Nobody cared.
Nobody was sad about him.
Nobody cared about Hawkins.
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't.
They couldn't even find his body. They were like, "Sir, I don't know."
Yeah, and then they're like,
Hawkins.
"It's fine. Let's wrap it up. Here we go."
Yeah.
So I had interesting relationships between some of these macho men, I gotta say.
Yeah, and I think that's enough of the crew you need to know. And then the only was the one hostage who was Anna, and that was kind of the local.
Yeah. Well, and we
hostage.
did have Carl Weathers, who was Dylan.
Oh, that's right. Carl Weathers was like a huge.
He's the son of a
this.
bitch.
He was interesting because at first you're like, oh, you're the evil guy because you sent them in for a death wish.
Yeah.
And there's a couple scenes with Arnold that I'm like, you don't need to tell us everything. We're aware, Arnold, of what's happening.
He does tell us a lot of
He's
things.
like, you brought us into the jungle and then all of us will die, and so you lied to us and told me a cooked up story, and then all of my friends are in here and they're all dying, and why don't you tell me about your story? I was like, Arnold, we're following. Okay?
Arnold, get out. Put away the PowerPoint in the jungle.
I am aware.
No.
Okay, I just wanted to give everybody their day, but it was a ragtag crew. And I liked their vibe, and they all died, basically.
Yeah, they all
in lots of different ways. And I didn't have as many jump scares, but I gotta say, I think Predator being invisible was kind of lame to me. I didn't love it.
The effects were lame. I'm like, because it is a cool concept, but like, why does it look like Microsoft Paint? Who invited Clippy? Not me.
Like, where's Harry Potter's cloak? Because they did that better, right?
They did. I mean, granted, that was like 14 years in the future, though, but yeah.
Okay, but what was with the deal of, like, they had, so the Gorillas was that giant base that they blew up, right? And then took the woman from there. And what was their deal? Like, why did we care about them?
Okay, should we talk about that?
I watched this movie so many times and I still don't know. I don't know.
So I thought it was like, oh, the hostages are in this camp. That's who took them.
That's what I thought. I was like, we gotta go get him. Because one of them shoots the one.
Yes.
Right?
So a hostage gets shot, which I was like, what's the point of a hostage if you're just gonna shoot him in the head randomly? I ask you, what's the long-term goals of our hostage?
I ask you.
Nobody answers it. Okay. I can I just say?
You can.
I'm just going to say it.
It's our own podcast. And you can literally say it.
Listen, I'm not going to pull an Arnold and explain how what I'm about to say is related to a real world event. You all can use your adult brains and figure it out. I don't really understand the concept if we're going to rescue hostages of then exploding the entire camp very aggressively and uncoordinated. Okay?
I don't know how they carried as many weapons as they used.
Every time you look at them, they got another gun. And I was like, was that there before? Where'd that come from?
I don't know anything about guns, but when there's like the long line of bullets connected, and it's kind of like the machine gun ammo.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I thought that was only in video games, but it could be real.
It was real in Predator. So
and I'm like, who lugs that around? You know?
And that guy had like a fanny pack that he was holding it in, and then he ditched the fanny pack. And I was like, wrong choice, sir. Like, always keep your fanny pack, especially in the jungle. But, yeah. There's like weird shit. Okay, we should also mention, I don't know if you realize this, I know you watched it 4 times, but if you didn't, I'll tell you now. Do you realize there is a connection to Stranger Things with this movie?
How?
Well, the first guy who dies, who keeps making fun of his girlfriend wife, is named Hawkins. And it's not like a body they find like a bloody dog tag before they get to the camp that they explode. And the name of the guy, who I guess was like one of the good guys they were trying to rescue, is named Jim Hopper.
Whoa.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Stranger Things took it from Predator?
I mean, I think so, because they had a lot of like influence.
Or is that just coincidence?
I'm gonna say no. Let's say it's connected.
No.
Okay. I mean, they took so many things from other 80s movies. Like, it would make sense. It just seems a little too on the nose. Okay?
On the button.
And if Vecna showed up in the jungle, I just feel like Arnold would have hit him with a rock. And I don't know why he didn't hit this alien with the rock. But it's fine.
Okay. I love that. We also have to give a big shout out to, you know who created the creature, the Predator? Our one and only.
Stan Winston?
Stan Winston.
See, and that pisses... Okay, I'm happy about it, but I'm also pissed off now. Because,
why did we make him invisible?
We don't get to see it that much.
I was so mad about it.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, why? And then why couldn't we have seen it in like separate scenes? The only time we got a close up is when it was like doing its own like surgery on itself and it got mad and screamed. But I wanted to see it because it's really like gnarly. Or as Arnold says, you're one ugly motherfucker.
One ugly motherfucker. Oh my god, that's another line. They did a lot of scenes instead of like the viewpoint of the alien, because when it's wearing its helmet, it has like heat vision, something.
Okay, I hated it.
That was like a little nausea-inducing. I was like, I need a Dramamine because this is out of control. There were so many scenes like that.
Hold on. So the only way the Predator's invisible with its secret powers, but the only way it can see other people is like through infrared.
Yes.
So it can't like see things. Right. But I'm like, but you're in a jungle. Isn't like everything alive?
Yeah.
Like, they only saw people being, like, hot. And then the one time they had, like, an animal being hot. But I'm like, wouldn't that just be all red from all the things?
Well, you know, now that I think about it, if it can only, like, see body heat or whatever, how would it know if someone's holding, like, a bazooka gun?
Exactly.
It's a plot hole.
Well,
I don't
and then
know.
the other thing that was funny is Anna, the one, like, hostage, was like, yes, we've heard of this scary creature that comes only when it's hot and when it's really, really hot summers. I'm like, well, what does that have to do with anything?
Oh, wait, is that because of the heat fishing? Because I literally was like, why only when it's hot? That would be the opposite time of year. I would want to go hunting. I want to go when it's a little more crisp in the air. Maybe have a fall latte, you know? Like, I don't want to be sweaty on my trophy hunt in another planet. But it probably was because of the heat, so that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Well, they do get her from the camp, and I love how all the guys are like, we don't want to bring her with us. Like, they're like, wait, no, thank you. Like, we're busy. And then Carl,
Arnold made sense most of the movie.
No, he did. And then
he
Carl
talked a lot once he did.
Yeah.
But he made sense.
Carl Weathers is like, well, she might tip off other people about us. And I was like, why don't we just talk to her? Why don't we say, hey, ma'am, what's your name? Hey, maybe you're a hostage, too. Nope, we don't do that. And she knew the shit about the alien. Like, this could have gone so differently if we just spoke to women, you know? That's the lesson I think we need to take away from this.
Although
don't make fun of women, you'll die first. And listen to women. Thank you.
Although I did love the scene when he's climbing out of the mud.
Oh.
And then he, like, hides in the little, like, root
scene.
System, and the alien can't see him, and you're like, oh, it's infrared! But you're not hot!
That's another moment where Arnold was like, it couldn't see me because of the mud! And you're like, we know, Arnold! Stop it. Shut the fuck up.
Do we have to, like, do this sequential, or should we just talk around the movie?
I don't know. We've been doing both a little bit, and one thing I do want to mention, as you noted there are really ridiculous lines, is there's a part where Arnold throws a machete through a man. This is when they're, quote, rescuing hostages by literally murdering anyone in front of their eyeballs. Or even not in front of their eyeballs. Who knows? Everyone's dead.
When they're like, Dutch, you're back! And then, like, if one of them shoots, it was kind of insane. They all would fire all their ammo. And all I kept thinking about is, don't you have to reserve some ammo? I don't know why. I was very obsessed with the ammo. And I was like, I just logistically think you're gonna use it all up.
And meanwhile, I'm like, we're destroying an ecosystem. There's gonna be millions of dead, like, panthers on the other side of those trees.
Absolutely. And they were like, sir, we've hit nothing. I was like, that's false. You hit snakes. You hit bugs. You definitely hit squirrels. I don't know. Who's in the jungle? Does anyone know?
It's not good. Monkeys. Where are the monkeys? Did we kill them all? I don't know.
So
it's bad.
The other thing with the Predator is that it is in, like, the top of trees. Because it, like, can just jump really high and fly and has all these special cool shit.
Yeah. I think so.
Right?
And I would assume, like, as a predator, it's better to be high up because then you can, like, look down on your prey. And they can't see you. So nothing's going to bump into you.
But you're also, like, invisible.
You are invisible. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And his technology was he could literally shoot, like, a hole through someone's body. He could skin them alive.
Yeah.
He could slice their guts out.
Mm-hmm.
On the side, he can suture up his own stitches when needed. Mm-hmm. He can be invisible, and all the infrared. He had that little, like, aiming thing. Yeah. So he, like, was really good at being precise because he had a little, like, what is that called? A little, like,
sight?
Laser,
like your sight,
I guess. Yeah. But then once he starts getting, like, knocked down at the end, I felt like he came up with a bunch of other crazy shit, which is like, so fire is his weakness? Like, was that... Or is it just because he was broken that then the fire hurt him?
Yeah, because I think his armor was, like, not working after he jumped in the water, which I was like, sounds like a you problem, bro.
You know what? I think
sounds like a problem you started.
All these alien movies, they all have, like, armor and all this, and then underneath they're all these weird whatever bodies. I'm like, you're telling me there's no aliens that, like, their skin is just protecting? You know what I'm saying?
There's no exoskeleton aliens, y'all?
Yeah, come on. Exactly. Thank you for saying it the smart way.
It's a big world. Oh, speaking of exoskeletons, you remember the scene where the scorpion...
Okay.
Were you awake for that scene? Because, my God, I laughed so loud.
That was
so
kind of
dramatic.
cool. But then I thought, scorpions are in the jungle. But then, you know what, Kate? I remembered when I went to the jungle in Ecuador.
Oh,
there
shit.
was freaking scorpions.
Yo.
And I remember being like, yo, I thought they were only in the desert. And we saw one on a tree with a bunch of babies on its back.
Ew.
Like, oh, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be sleeping nervous tonight.
Well, just in case, listeners, if you don't know what we're referencing, it's a scene where Carl Weathers is arguing with Mac about, I don't fucking know, probably what are we going to explode next? And then Mac's like, hey, come here. And then it's like, uh-oh, why is he coming over? And then Carl Weathers walks over and Mac stabs a knife at him. And you're like, is it death? Or what? And then Carl Weathers is like, ah! And then Mac, like, holds up the knife and it's a fucking scorpion! He no words dramatically killed a scorpion like we're on an episode of Degrassi in the Jungle. I can't with these macho men. They're so dramatic. Oh my God.
They were so dramatic, but they also, like, listened very well. This was the thing that blew my mind.
They had
I'm
a
like,
hierarchy, for sure.
They definitely, like, whatever Arnold said, they were like, we're on it. Nobody ever fought the captain. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been in some machismo moments, okay, in my corporate life.
Ooh.
And that never happens. You know, like, it's always like, oh, my idea, look at my muscles, ooh, you know, and I just was like, wow, this is a really well-oiled machine. I'm loving the leadership, Arnold.
And a lot of time it was nonverbal leadership, where it was like a bunch of hand signals, and I was like, oh
my God, can I tell you? So James saw me watch this a little bit.
Oh, boy.
New listeners, that's my husband. And I thought it was so funny with my toddler to, like, give James, like, signals like that. Because, like, she was napping. And I was like,
you're like,
come in the room.
Sounds
I was like, come in the room. Don't speak. I was like, cut to your right. He was just like, what are you saying? Like, you ruined it.
You
could have played
Arnold.
Predator.
Oh, God.
So can we do that at some point? Where we just do Predator signals? Because he just, like, he would move his arm to the left, and they all knew what to do. And then he'd be like, come. He'd be like,
and then he'd be
circle
like,
up.
There were two fingers, and he'd be like he'd be like drawing invisible shapes in the sky, and I'm like, I don't know this language, but it's a great day.
I don't know.
Great fucking day. But yeah, I mean, as we mentioned, lots of people are getting fucking killed, and they don't know what it is. The lady, so who is it? Is it the glasses guy that's like with the lady, and then he gets killed, and she's like, and she gets covered in his blood. And then fucking Carl Weathers is like, what did you do to him? She's like a fucking handcuffed lady, and Carl thinks this bitch, like, killed the body and buried it in a second. I'm glad Arnold was in charge, because Carl was having a rough time, okay?
Carl was not a great leader. I think that's why his crew died a lot faster. And then he left them, which I thought, that's weird.
It's a lot of questionable jungle decisions.
But then it was like, his crew went in, they all died, and he's been looking for them, but then no one's telling him the answers, so then he had to make up a fake story to get Arnold in there, but then he went in there, and then by the end of the movie, he was like, I'm gonna go with Mac and kill this alien. Arnold's like, it's about time you stepped up, sir.
Yo, and his death is, like, pretty cool. Do you remember how Carl Weathers dies?
Is that where he's in between the logs? No, that was Mac. How does Carl die? No.
Carl sees the alien, like, afar. Mac is already dead. He sees the alien from afar. The alien has the terrible cloaking. And he goes to shoot him, and he's shooting him, and then the alien shoots at him, and Carl's arm explodes off, but it's still holding the gun, and so it's still fucking shooting the gun. Is that how bodies work?
I don't know.
But your finger's gonna stay engaged when it's exploded? What do you mean?
I don't know, but then his other arm had a gun and he tried to shoot it, but it was too late.
Yeah, he exploded. You know, it is funny too, because, like, some of the deaths you saw on screen, and, like, that one, like, I was like, that's awesome. I'm glad I saw it on screen. But then, like, the Billy guy, who, I'm sorry, they set him up to have an epic death, because he's, like, on a log, and they're all like, we gotta get to the chopper, and then Billy just stops because he's one with nature, and he turns around dramatically, because they're all drama queens, okay? They are.
Oh, yeah.
He rips off his shirt, and I was like,
Amen.
Correct. But then he takes off all his guns and he just takes out like a machete and he's kind of like standing in the direction of the predator. So you're like, oh shit, it's gonna be a crazy showdown. And then literally we don't see his death.
I'm so mad about it.
You just hear him like scream and then they're all like, oh damn. Anyway.
I'm so mad about it. I wanted Billy to be one of the last ones with
yeah,
Arnold.
I would have liked him to make it to the end. He was cool.
Because it would have been really cool if, like, him and Arnold... Because it was cool when Arnold realized, oh, I have to be one with... like the jungle and I can use the mud and I have to like hide and I gotta really like work the system in terms of what I got. And I felt like Billy could have helped him do that like really well.
Definitely fucking could. Billy was the one who first like thought he was noticing the predator, but he didn't like, he couldn't see it. He was just like, something's out there. And they're like, gosh, Billy, we gotta keep going. And I was like, just listen to women, listen to Billy, listen to Arnold's hand signals. Just listen and it's gonna be great. But yeah, a lot of people die. And then, it becomes get to the chopper! And so, oh god, everyone around you's dying. That's what I wrote. The lady is the only person that survives besides Arnold's? Is that right?
I think so. And
okay,
when
what about
he
the
gets
other
back
guy?
in that helicopter, I was like, holy shnikes. I don't think, are you thinking of
the one who got
Poncho?
like injured, but he wasn't dead, and they were kind of carrying him for part of the movie?
Then that was Poncho. Yep.
Poncho. Did he die? What happened to Poncho?
I mean, unless he got to the end with her, I guess he was alive.
That lady needs a drink, I'll tell you.
Okay, but now you're making me realize, because I didn't understand why she couldn't hold the gun, but Arnold realized that the predator would secretly know she has a gun?
I think
Katie,
he very much bought into the theory that it is hunting, like, for sport. Because they did kind of reference, they're like, oh, you know, it's not killing everyone all at once. It's only attacking one person at a time. So it's not like, it's not how we're approaching murder, which is kill everything in front of your eyeballs. It's instead, like, more calculated, a la you're hunting. And so I think that's how he came to that conclusion. And I feel like the lady was just, like, annoyed with him the whole time. But she also was like, I guess I won't hold it. Whatever. It's fine.
By the way, they were U.S. Special Forces.
Okay.
And just for all those military folks.
It feels safe to say that any movie that Arnold's like an army dude, that's probably what's happening.
It's probably a special force.
Because I just remember our commando episode. We kept being like, what's a commando?
Well,
what is commando? And then Bridget's husband James was a guest on that episode, listeners. Check it out. And he was just like, ugh, I gotta explain this.
I think, though, that even... I know we're not at this point to stop talking about the movie, but, like, all in all, I did enjoy it. It just is, like, a little cheesy, but it's just all gunpowder. Like, the whole time, it's just, like, blowing up, murder, endless murder, and not as many fight scenes as it is, like, watching them blow things up from afar.
Right.
Until, like, Arnold really gets in the thick of it, and you're like... Honestly, it's pretty cool.
I liked the ending part where it was just Arnold and it becomes like, I'm gonna booby trap my jungle camp. And then he's covered in mud and you're like, that's always a great time. And then he does like a Tarzan, like yell to summon the predator, something. And that was fun. But I don't know, even that part, I was like, it could be a little shorter because there were lots of scenes where like, because the predator couldn't see Arnold because he was covered in the mud, it would be like, oh my god, the predator's right behind me, but it doesn't know, but I know. And I was like, yeah, stab him. And then he never did. He would always just like move away. And I was like, Arnold, you have the upper hand, son. Come on.
I didn't understand why he didn't kill him.
He was very like merciful to the alien, you know, in comparison to all of the other men that he murdered without trials, you know? So, I don't,
So all the other Predator movies are basically like the aliens are like, oh, damn, Bob is dead. Let's go down to that whatever other area.
So I don't think there's any other Predator movies where they're in a jungle. The second one is like Predators, LOL. So there's like more than one. And I almost feel like they're in like a city in like America. And then it's like, who's killing people in the city? You're like, what? Why are the aliens here?
Well, because at one point I was like, is there more than one of these guys? Because he's murdering everybody.
There's so many. And then there's one, the Alien vs. Predator one. That one was cool because it was kind of like, there was a whole history about how the Predator aliens would go to hunt the alien aliens because they were, and then they like fight each other, but there's humans there too. And then the Predator teams up with a human to like kill the big alien. It's crazy. It's like Wild Child. But the most recent Predator spin-off, I guess, was called Prey. And I feel like I talked about it on one of the podcast episodes. And it's all about a Comanche Native American tribe. And like, it's set, I don't know what year, but like, you know, earlier years. And they have a predator that like comes to their area. And the main character is a girl. And she fucking like goes through the same stuff as Arnold, where she realizes like, oh, it's like, can see like body heat. And like, I have to like defeat it in like a smart way and using my like environment. And then she fucking does. And they do say the line, if it bleeds, we can kill it, which is a great line.
That is a great line.
Yeah. So there's a lot of them, man. They're going to keep fucking making them because, I mean, what an easy concept. You could fucking flip-plop a freaking predator alien anywhere and then use the guise of like, well, they like to hunt, so they just go wherever, whenever. And,
well,
like,
you don't need to like explain it.
Yeah, you don't need anything else. You can keep the same formula and just give me different main characters to survive, and I'm into it. It's fun. And obviously the effects nowadays are like way fucking better. So when they go invisible, it like doesn't look like, I don't know, like a glitch on the computer.
Movie, if you could redo this movie, get rid of the infrared stupid bullshit and get rid of the invisible effects.
Yeah, get Harry Potter in there, y'all.
Use Professor Snape. I don't know. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
But like add a bunch of hot, like they remade Top Gun and they're like, we're gonna bring a bunch of hot guys back, and you're like, okay, fine,
cool.
I'd be down for like the 2024 version of this with a bunch of hot guys.
I wonder if they did do like a reboot.
Oh, did they?
Hold on, let's see. Predator 2, Predators, Prey, Alien vs. Predator, The Predator. Oh, that's it. Maybe this was like a reboot. Because I feel like Adrian Brody was in one of them. Is it this one?
Oh.
But I wonder if they did that. There's just so many. It's never ending. But yeah,
oh my God.
I'm on board with sweaty jungle shenanigans.
Can I tell you some like critiques people are saying? Is like, there's a deeper meaning about machismo.
What is it?
They went into the jungle and they just thought with their big muscles and big guns they could take out whatever they needed to take out, and only once they put down their egos after realizing Predator was different and they started to really focus on how to like fight this person because this person is better than them, and they had to admit that. Only then could they actually compete. I was like, oh,
that's
okay.
That is just, wow, that person took something.
They went there. They went there.
They took something when they watched that movie, I'll tell you that. Damn.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm like, don't make jokes about your girlfriend's vagina and you'll be fine.
Wife.
I mean, that's a wife. Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah. Okay, so you think in the ending that Arnold beat the Predator but then never killed him, so then the Predator killed himself out of like shame?
Yes, and I don't know why Arnold didn't kill it. Like, of all the times to do a mercy kill, this is the time, sir. Like, we don't need to take the alien in for questioning, okay? As a reminder, we didn't give any of the other men that you exploded earlier that luxury. So, let's just smash its face with a fucking rock and go about our day. And
I'm with you. I would turn into Mac. Like, if we're in the jungle cave,
you just whip out 80 guns and just
if somebody takes you out, I'm done. I'm Rambo. I'm done. I'm Mud. I'm losing. I'm done. I'm gonna get that person. I'm gonna slice their head off and hang it for everyone to see.
Yeah,
on a stake.
It is a lot.
I had a good time.
It's a good time. I mean, and I like your method of like taking little naps at certain parts because I feel there are parts you could definitely take little naps at.
Well, why did we have that whole freaking scene where they blew up a village that nobody cared about? Was it only to get Anna? And then what? So she could be like one person to see the invisible thing? It
is. I believe. Yeah. I would watch it again.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, leisurely. I'm not going to write a intense Reddit conspiracy theory about, you know, toxic masculinity or anything.
No, and I think, honestly, I think this movie was not denying its, like, absurdity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
it was like, oh, we know what we are. Like,
yeah. Well, that made it, and that's what makes it good, you know? Just acknowledge who you are and what you're about. That always helps.
I think that it is obviously a watch for everybody, but I feel like, so I forgot to tell you this part.
Oh!
So, in my like, having to watch all these things, I usually can watch stuff at night or when, like, Kate is sleeping.
Yeah.
And she woke up from a nap, and I was trying to do my Arnold hand signals to my husband, and he didn't get it, and, like, brought her in to my bedroom. And I was like, I have 30 more minutes left in this freaking movie. I gotta watch it.
It's the fourth time.
Well, and then she started watching it with me, and I was like, this is not good for a 2-year-old. But she was really funny about it, because I had, like, my headphones on so she couldn't hear it, and I would like hide the alien or predator when it came on.
Yeah.
But she kept calling it a dinosaur.
Oh.
And I was like, it's definitely a dinosaur. And then she kept running around the bed screaming like really loud, like rah.
Wow, was she radicalized by
and then I was like, is this awesome or traumatizing?
Are we having a good time or bad time?
So Free Willy, by the way, is like on our watch list thanks to sisters who've seen it.
God.
I'm not going to put Predator on the watch list, but to her, it was a pretty cool dinosaur. And I was like, okay, am I a bad parent? I just have 30 minutes left.
Well, you know what? Like dinosaurs, I would think that the Predator is old as fuck. So, yeah.
Same difference, right? Okay,
yeah,
same difference.
I love it. Oh my God.
Kate, it's my pick.
Woo!
Okay.
Okay.
And I don't think we've done this. I don't think so. But you're gonna tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
It's a 1998.
Okay.
It's described as a comedy fantasy.
Ooh. Okay.
It really brings in the fall vibes. Okay? I'm saying, summer, don't let the door hit your booty on the way out. We're hitting fall. Okay? There are some heavy hitters.
Does it have women?
Has some women in it.
Okay. I'm having a guess.
Hit it.
Is it Practical Magic?
Yeah! How did you get that?
I think, someone definitely requested that though. So we'll shout out when we figure out who that is.
Wait, is that why I saw? Okay, oopsie. Brain? I don't know. Oopsie.
I kind of organized her emails.
Oh God.
So, okay, we'll figure that out later.
Okay,
though.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I feel like it would be Julie, if anyone.
All right, okay. So there we go. We put the lime in the coconut and it all up. So woo!
Wow. Isn't, is Kathy Bates in this as well? We have Sandra Bullock. We have,
Nicole Kidman.
Oh, Nicole Kidman. Jesus Christ.
Evan Rachel Wood.
What?
Stockard Channing. Oh. Okay. We have, Diane, West, however you say her name.
That bitch.
You have, I don't see Kathy Bates.
Okay,
you have Margot
I made that up.
Martindale.
I'm so sorry.
You have Stevie Nicks. What?
I mean,
when
she's
did she
like a real
show up?
life witch. I love her.
She definitely is a real life witch.
Yeah, she fucking is.
Oh
my God, Stockard Channing, Aunt Frances, get out. At least she's not a high school kid in this one.
Oh my God.
Is the plot of this movie that, like, we're witches and we're sisters, but also, like, let's bag a dude? Is that the plot? What's the plot?
I think the plot is when one of your sisters is dating someone that's not good for them and basically abuses them and tries to murder them.
My God.
As a witch, you need to band together with your sissies, put some spells together, and then take them out. However,
that's the plot?
This one goes bad. And they have you seen it? Have you seen it?
I don't know now.
Well,
No.
and then this one goes back, and then they had a whoopsie doodle, and then the older witches have to come in and be like, yeah, so we've seen some whoopsie doodles that you did, and yeah, we gotta.
So this is like the precursor to season 3 of American Horror Story, where it's like, God damn it, the old witches gotta.
But there's tequila and Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman's funny, quippy stuff, and and it's like Gilmore Girls
Sandra.
meets horror meets silly. Adam Sandler shows up. I don't know. I'm making it up.
God, Billy Madison. I love this pick because I do feel like for whatever reason, a lot of people are really embracing the fact that now that it's the month of September, we should all think about Halloween. And historically, I'm not usually thinking like that, but now I'm kind of on board with thinking like that, so I'm ready.
I'm down.
I'm ready for black cats. I'm ready for witches. I'm ready for candles. I'm ready for moons. And other stuff, I'm ready.
Spells. And manifestation. And sparkles. Okay. Predator to practical magic. Keep up, listeners. Put your seatbelt on.
P to P. Here we go. Well, Bridge, I just want to say.
Yeah.
If you were a hostage.
Okay.
In the jungle, first of all, I hate that. I would immediately be like, Arnolds, we're going in. We're not taking as many guns as you'd like, so chill on that. Chill. You can give the hand signals, but we're actually going to rescue the hostage and not blow her up. And we would do that for you. And if there's a predator, I'll help kill him also for you.
Okay, and I like that.
I would smash his face with a rock.
Oh.
I would.
I love that.
Yeah, you gotta do it. Yeah. So, that's for you.
Wow. Well, I feel like I already did my spiel for you earlier, where if anyone ever took you out, I would, turn into Mac and put on my Arnold mud and hunt them down and rip their head off and put it on a stake for the world to see it.
Oh, yeah.
But also, I think it would be fun in our scary movie to just, cast a Predator scene, and we'll just, have tons of hot muscly men come through the auditions, and we'll just have to be listen, not muscly, spray him with water, not muscly enough. Keep going, not muscly enough.
I'm just envisioning Magic Mike meets Predator, and the Predator's
and they're
I'm here
twirling on the trees.
Yeah, he's the Predator's I'm here for blood, and then the men are let me do a striptease, and then the Predator's I'm into it. All right,
that's like the Lost World scene when the daughter does gymnastics and hits the raptor.
No! Kelly, no!
We could do that, but with Predator. Oh my god. The Predator doesn't realize that they're near him and they give him a kick to the face. I'm here for that. I would die so bad.
And they're all wearing high heels. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. And listeners, if you also would watch that movie, heyo.
Heyo.
Hey. And if you think that, if you're gonna rescue hostages, don't also kill the hostages. Thank you. Good night. That's
how it goes. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
And if you think that, just I don't know, just kill the predator.
Yeah.
We can be nice to so many other things in the world, but not that. Don't be nice to that thing.
Absolutely.
Please don't. Yes. Mm-hmm. And if you think all that, you should write us a review. We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, along with some other podcasting apps. And we also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. So there is a form you can fill out. Your request goes in a list, and we look at the list every now and then, and we will do it eventually. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
Give us money.
Woo!
Which will fund our movie. A Predator meets Magic Mike.
Yes.
Okay.
It's important we make that.
And also there's merchandise, and
Woo!
I really should just take any line from this movie and throw it on a t-shirt, because who doesn't want to see it?
Yeah.
What if I had a picture of a salad and I was get into the choppa, just something.
That is fucking marketable. Please do that. Oh my god.
Okay.
That's how we'll make our millions, is off of that one shirt idea. that nobody can say is copyright because it's about a salad.
It's a parody. Okay.
It's a parody about a salad. Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
so check that out. I don't know. You know,
yes.
just check it out. Have fun. Have fun with us.
Yes, so check all that out, listeners, and we'll see you next time. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week for Practical Magic.
You put the lime in the coconut. Oh, no.
Are they doing like witch shit in that scene? Or are they just drinking?
I think they're making a potion, but they're also having tequila and dancing under the full moon.
Yeah.
Like witches, you know?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my God.
That's a good time.
All right. Listeners, I hope you enjoyed this chaotic one. Love you.
Love you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswho'veseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.